Download the free practice worksheet on this topic or take a practice quiz at Mathcation.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another awesome math video from Mathcation. In today's video, I'm going to show you all the solutions to systems of equations. As you can see, there are 4 important things that we need to remember when solving systems of equations. The first is that a system of equations can have 3 types of solutions. So you can have one solution, no solutions, or none solutions, or infinite solutions. One solution occurs when your solution is x equals a number. This will be after you solve your system and you get x equals a number, and it can be any number. What this indicates is that if you were to graph your lines, the lines would cross in one spot. So let's say we were to graph one equation and the other equation here. They would cross only one time, and that point of intersection would be the one solution. And that would be why there's only one solution to that system. The next tip is that no solution occurs when your solution is an untrue statement. And what that means is you will get a number equals another number or a different number. So for example, when you solve your solution, you might get something like 3 equals 7. Well, 3 does not equal 7. They are different numbers. They're not equal. And that means that there is no solution. And the reason there is no solution is because if you were to graph this system, the 2 equations in that system would never cross. They would never intersect. Their slopes would be parallel. And because the slopes are parallel, they're never going to cross, and there's never going to be a solution that satisfies both equations. Finally, the last tip is that infinite solutions occur when your solution is a true statement, which means after you solve your solution, if you get 3 equals 3 this time, well, 3 does equal 3. That is a true statement. And that means that you will have an infinite amount of solutions to that equation. If you were to graph that system, you would have one line right here, and then if you were to graph the second equation, it would actually go directly over top of the first equation. And that's because they're going to be the same exact equation. And every single spot on these lines is technically a solution. And because we have an infinite amount of intersection, that means that there's an infinite amount of solutions. And if you're learning anything right now, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on other helpful math videos. All right, let's go ahead and jump down to our first practice problem. This problem gives us 2 equations set equal to each other in our system of equations. We need to solve for x, and then we need to determine how many solutions there are. This system gives us 12x plus 6 equals 2x minus 24. Now we need to get the x's together. So I'm going to move this 2x over here with this 12x. This is a positive 2x. So in order to undo positive 2x, I'm going to subtract 2x on this side. And then whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I'm going to subtract 2x on this side. Now these x's cancel, which is what we wanted. On the left, we have 12x minus 2x. Well, that's 10x. And then we didn't change the plus 6, so it comes straight down. And then the minus 24 also comes straight down because we didn't change it. Now we have 10x plus 6 equals negative 24. We need to move this 6 over to the other side because we want x's, or the variable, on one side, and we want constants on the other. So the opposite of plus 6 is minus 6, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract 6 so that I cancel the 6's. And now we have 10x equals negative 24 minus 6 is negative 30. And then finally we have to get the x by itself. So we're going to get rid of the coefficient of the 10. And remember, this is like saying 10 times x, so it's not written, but there's a little multiplication symbol there. So to undo 10 times x, we're going to divide by 10. So I'm going to divide both sides by 10 so that this coefficient cancels and the 10 goes away. And then on the right, we have negative 30 divided by 10, which is negative 3. Now, x equals negative 3 is the answer. And we know that because x equals negative 3, there is one solution. So I'm going to write one solution to this system. Anytime you have x equals a number, that's going to be one solution. Because our solution is x equals negative 3, that means there's one solution. And that means that if you were to graph these 2 equations, they would cross one time. And that one point of intersection would be the solution. Moving on to number 2. Number 2 gives us negative 3x minus 9 equals 5x minus 9 minus 8x. Again, what we're doing is solving for x. In the case of this system, we have to first combine like terms because we have variables on the same side of the equal sign together. So they're going to get combined together. So I'm going to rewrite my left-hand side, and then I'm going to combine 5 minus 8x. And then I'm going to bring down negative 9 because we didn't change that. And then I'm going to combine 5x minus 8x. Well, 5 minus 8 is negative 3. So we're going to have negative 3x left over. Now when we solve for x, we need to get the x's on one side together. I'm going to move this 3x over here with this 3x. So I'm going to add 3x here. This will cancel. And when I add 3x here, this also cancels. So they both cancel. And we're left with just negative 9 equals negative 9. Well, negative 9 equals negative 9, that is a true statement. Negative 9 does equal negative 9. And because it's a true statement, that means that this will have an infinite amount of solutions. And if you were to graph these on a graph, they would intersect an infinite amount of times because they are the same exact equation. And finally, the last practice problem we're going to do for solving solutions to systems of equations is 3x plus 18 equals 3 times the quantity x minus 2. Now, in order to solve the system, the first step is distributing the 3. So I'm going to rewrite 3x plus 18 on the left, and then I'm going to distribute this 3 times x. Well, 3 times x is 3x. And then 3 times negative 2, so 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So all I did was I took that 3 and I distributed it. Now I have 3x plus 18 equals 3x minus 6. So same thing, I have to get the variables on one side of the equal sign together. So I'm going to subtract 3x here because I want these to cancel. And then I'm going to subtract 3x here. And when I do that, this also cancels. So I'm left with just 18 on this side. And on the right, I have just negative 6. So our solution is 18 equals negative 6. That is not a true statement. And because it's an untrue statement, that means that there is no solution. And because there's no solution, that means that if I were to graph these two equations, they would never cross. There would never be a point of intersection, which means there's no solution to the system. And if you want to do some more practice on solving systems of equations, go ahead and click the link in the top right part of this video to be taken to a practice quiz that will grade itself and tell you how you did. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you got something out of it, and drop a comment telling me if this video helped you or if you need help with something else. See ya!